welcome to another DLC of the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast with Ellie, Chris and Guy. This is a casual gaming podcast for the everyday gamer. And on today's DLC, we've got a special guest here. She is a mother. She is a radio host, iconic radio host. She is an amazing friend. And she's also a very casual gamer. Or a gamer.
Yeah, well, I game every day. Not at the moment.
You're better than me. This is Meg, by the way. This is Guy's wife.
Yep. So this is a trial run for you to be replacing Ellie.
Yeah.
Because already 10 seconds in, you've proven yourself more of a gamer than Ellie.
Yeah.
Well, you have to have the most novice gamer. I just thought by now, a year and a bit now?
Yeah, since August 2023.
We would have had some improvement on the...
It's actually got worse.
Yeah.
No, it's got worse. So you're gaming more than me. That's great. That's great. And do you want to tell anyone about yourself? Well, Guy, do you want to tell us about Meg? What's the best way to do this?
Yes, let my husband speak.
Yeah,
on
Guy,
my
you go.
This is my wonderful wife, Meg. We've been together 11 years, married 5 years. And over our marriage and our relationship together, Meg has witnessed me play a lot of video games. We've played games together. Sounds like single player games that Meg has watched, like The Last of Us and Red Dead Redemption and stuff like that. But we've also, as I mentioned on this podcast, completed a lot of games together, most recently Split Fiction.
Yeah, I grew up with an older brother, 3 years older than me, my brother Chris, and I grew up watching gaming. So I am, luckily for Guy's sake, I really enjoy watching other people game.
Yeah.
Because if I game myself, normally it stresses me out, but I have got a much better to actually play.
When we were playing Split Fiction, if it got to a particularly tense moment of because Split Fiction's fast paced, it's pretty full on. She would be gripping the controller so much that she'd have to pause and she'd take off her wedding ring.
That was only because I was so mad at you, not because it was actually
because the ring was breaking into the controller. So she's like, I knew that it was a particularly intense moment when she gave me her ring,
and probably the swelling from the pregnancy is probably a lot of things going on. Yeah,
true.
So you genuinely do take joy in watching gaming?
Yeah, I know that probably sounds like one of those things that try to be a cool girl. But I genuinely grew up watching my brother game and enjoyed doing it. I don't know if it's kind of like one of those things where when you start watching Coronation Street, pretend you're into it so you can stay up later with your parents.
Oh,
when you're like 8 and you're like, just me.
So you're just pretending to like?
No.
Mine was CSI.
If my bedtime was 7:45 when I was a kid and then Coronation Street went to 8:30, if I watched it and got into the storyline, suddenly I could be up and watch it with the parents. And I think that's how it started with my brother, where I was allowed to kind of stay up later or be with him because I was watching him game and I was like, I can't miss this. And then I genuinely started loving it. Final Fantasy was the game that made me, my brother grew up on the Final Fantasies and I loved it. It would have been early. Because this is 20-something years ago.
Right, so it would have been like Final Fantasy 4 or something
like that. Yes, I actually think it might have been. And the music was really, I love the music. And I tried to get Guy to play it, actually, didn't I?
I tried to play Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, and it didn't really work out, but I loved the music of it and watching the characters. And it was the first time I realized that gaming wasn't just shooting and gaming wasn't just killing, shooting, Call of Duty sort of vibes.
Yes.
I loved it.
That is the notion a lot of non-gamers have.
Yeah.
It's literally, whatever hobbies and things you're into, there are games built around those things.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is great.
And then we got the game that everybody has, the racing game, the whole family play that every night. No, the one with the funny things.
Crash Team Racing.
The one with the funny things.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Oh, so you played that as a kid?
I played that a lot. Even my dad, who I don't think has played a game in his life, still to this day, in his 70s, will bring up that he used to, he wishes he could play that again.
Oh, cute.
But I think it would give him seasickness now, you to Ellie. So I don't think he could do it.
Yeah. So there were any other games that you played as a kid?
As a child, yes, I played the Adventure of Monkey Bay or
Monkey Island.
Secret of Monkey Island. I got
Yeah.
stuck at one point, but I grew up with a really intelligent father who was good at tech, and he actually made games for me.
Really?
But not I know it sounds wild, but they're very, very simplistic games. So I liked playing games that were puzzle games that I used my brain to figure them out. The Secret of Monkey Island is a puzzle game. It's not high def or tech.
Yeah.
And the other one we played was Full Throttle, which was where you follow, it was a guy on a motorcycle, a Harley. It was awesome. And my dad wrote one for me. It was just words where it would come up with words and it would describe my bedroom and stuff. And then I would have to type in turn left, turn right, or pick up book or grab this. And then that would open a page and I'd learn something else. And then I could follow. It was a very Alice in Wonderland sort of maze through my own house.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it was
That's
very very cool. So that's like where my love of gaming came in, where I guess it was more like logical figuring things out.
Yeah.
And then I like learnt more about the kind of like high tech gaming life with Guy.
But it's when we play a game and you're like watching me play a game, a single player game, it's obvious that that's how you were raised playing games, because I'll go through a room and because of my history with gaming, I'll go and I'll know that I can't open that drawer and I can go through that door. Like my brain's like, okay, cool, let's go.
Just
Like, what about
background.
over there?
Yeah, I know what's background and I
decoration.
know what isn't. Whereas Meg will be like, open that door. Like you want to, every single room we go in, it's like we sweep it.
And why I like escape rooms so much still in my 30s. Like I love an escape room. But yeah, I got brought up on that, and it's very cool that my dad made that game for me. I never clocked it though. I actually have to try and figure out how to do it.
Do you still have it, or does he still have
He
it?
will probably
will.
still have it.
It'll be on
Like,
a CD
it was-
somewhere.
But the
Or a
problem
floppy
is
disk.
it'll be a floppy
Yeah.
disk. Like, that's the issue, and we've like no access to it.
Oh,
but
that's
I
so
really want to
cool.
complete the secret of Monkey Island.
Yeah.
I keep getting it wrong. And
Because
Guy,
they remastered it.
yes,
They
yeah.
did remaster it, yeah. So you can buy it on Steam, and I think the remastered version, you can play the original version as
Right.
well. So we just need to get it on Steam.
Yeah, because I only got up to a certain part, and never been able to get past it. So that would be that's like a life goal.
Meg, when you're watching Guy play The Last of Us, right?
Yes.
And Guy beats a really tough boss,
Yes.
do you genuinely see him as a bit of a hero?
Yes, I feel very proud of him, especially if I know he's worked very hard towards it. But I mostly, so I'll watch all storyline and going through the stories and like finding bits and pieces, like Guy said, like pick up this, read this. And then when it comes to the bits where you've got like a bloater, I'm normally on my phone.
Yeah,
If I'm
that's
gonna,
scary.
I am being
Very
honest.
scary.
I'm just like, oh, and this is the part where all it is Guy being very stressed in their shooting, and then he'll shoot them, and I'll go, good on you, mate.
From where you sit as well, is Guy good at gaming?
He is really good at gaming. There's been I think one time on like, and I like, there's definitely been one time that's actually been like genuine turn on. Just the one time. The one time, you know when it is. It's so funny.
Was it when we were
Guy-
playing Astrobot?
Yes, it was.
We were just talking
It was
about it in the
an
episode about.
unbelievable level, and Guy didn't blink the whole time, and it was his first time playing through this level. It was like absolute first time go at it, and I remember I was just like watching him do it, and I was like this, and I said to him, that was actually a talent. Like people think gaming isn't talent.
Yeah.
That was watching him do it, and he just knew what move to make at every jump, and he knew it to like. It was incredible. It was
Wow.
really incredible.
And then you conceived your second
And
baby.
then that is how my baby came to be.
So we don't know if we're having a boy or a girl, but they're coming out as Astrobot.
Astrobot
Yeah.
is the middle name.
You said turn on. I thought you said turn off.
No,
turn on.
Oh, damn it. I was like, yes. What did he do?
It was a turn on. It was a turn on.
He was so good at Astrobot
Yeah.
that turned me on.
No, there's been lots of turn offs when he completely
Yeah,
levels and
yeah.
stuff. Oh, constantly. Yeah.
She'll walk in, I'm playing Fortnite, she'll be like, ugh.
Oh, yeah. No, I do sometimes have to like knock through the wall because our bedroom leads onto the lounge, and I do hear him screaming at the TV sometimes, and I have to like tell him to like
Yep.
keep it down.
I get the same,
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get very passionate.
Yeah.
Very passionate.
So when it comes to watching games, though, there'd be certain ones that are good for watching, like the
Yes.
cinematic ones with the storylines and the like Last of Us. And,
Ghost of Tsushima, I thought was going to be really good, but I kind of
Nah, it's
found
not.
boring.
It's too big and open ended.
It's
Yeah.
a big open end, and it's a lot of combat. You know?
yeah, it was. It
It's-
was like pretty scenery, and I was like, that looks nice, but then it was combat.
Yeah, I would be playing it, and Meg would be, you'd be reading, or you'd
You're
be
like,
on your
wow,
Switch or
look at
something.
the
And
sunset.
if there was ever a good scenery, I'm like, babe, look at the sunset. You go, wow. Because I know that's the only part of the game that you'd be interested
What
in.
if I loved? I've obviously loved The Last of Us. We're up to like the third time I'm playing that now. We did Harry Potter, which we loved, which was kind of together.
Hogwarts Legacy, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you didn't do the Uncharted?
I love Red Dead Redemption. Oh, we did Uncharted.
Did we do Uncharted?
Yeah, we did, but a long time
It
ago.
was a while ago.
Red Dead Redemption, I love. I actually, when I can't sleep, I pretend I'm the guy in Red Dead, and I'm like making a little like mushroom remedy because he goes and picks flowers and
He
stuff.
does, yeah.
Yes, he does, and he has his horse, and I loved watching that game.
Yeah, when he's not murdering Ellie.
Yeah,
no, I
like-
thought he was
We're
quite.
skinning
and I-
animals,
We
yeah.
have had fights though, because I know with a lot of these games you can choose to be nice or not, and guys like, I know he's just going to steal things, and I'm like, don't you kill that man.
So this is a thing that I've known about Guy for years. Whenever you play a game with him, he does the dickish thing every time.
Every time.
Like there'll be so it all stemmed back from when we were playing golf 20 years ago, and a hedgehog climbed up a hill, and you kicked it down the hill, and
I
it
did
rolled
not
all the way
kick
to
a
the bottom.
hedgehog.
Yeah,
I
it
did
was
not.
like Dan Carter at the World Cup final, and it rolled back down. And then I've noticed that the way you operate in games is if there's something that could be
Yes.
funny, that is a dickish move. You will do it.
We actually did start playing a game, Guy. I don't know if you remember it. It was the game we were meant to play together. and we couldn't play it because I only wanted to take the good path. It was like a pick a path, and you every time wanted to be like a genuine psychopath.
Which game was
and
that?
we fought about it. I've forgotten what it's called. It was it was like
Was it like one of those Heavy Rain or anything like
Was
that?
it Until Dawn?
No, we'd played
was the horror one.
That was the one I liked watching, but also was awful.
Yeah.
Alan
No,
Wake or
it was
anything?
definitely one that you chose the path. Like you got to pick what you got to do, and every time I was like, make sure you're nice to them, and he'd be like, murder every time, and we couldn't end the game.
What was the
Yeah,
game?
do you remember? And we actually got a bit like, I was like, well, I don't want to play with you. Well, I don't want to play with you. Then if you can do that, I wouldn't do that. So we couldn't.
I
do
want to
it.
know what that game is.
Yeah, we couldn't complete it. So very different in that aspect.
I didn't push a hedgehog down a hill. There was a
Okay.
hedgehog at the top of the hill, and I walked up to it because it's a hedgehog, and he balled up because that's what they do, and then gravity took care of the rest. Did I laugh?
Sure,
Yes.
man.
But I
Guy,
didn't
that's really
physically touch
awful.
the
Guy,
hedgehog.
It was 15
You
longer.
weren't even there.
Yes, I was. It was
No,
at
you
Renner
weren't.
Park.
No, Jamie was there.
Was it?
Yeah, Jamie just
The
told you
fact
about
that you've
it.
like locked this memory
No,
into
I
yours.
was there. Yes, 100%. I remember you gloating afterwards.
Oh, you awful
But,
man.
you know, look, we don't have to go through.
Please, I would like to stay married to my husband
Yeah.
just while I'm pregnant,
No,
and then
that-
afterwards we can sort of
Despite
Fair
my,
enough.
my grudge towards hedgehogs. You are so we talked about at the start of the episode that you are playing a game at the moment.
Yeah.
You're playing what is it?
Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit like I feel like a little bit of a kid saying that, but it is
Nah.
like it's fun. I do it every single day. I've got it in my bag now. I like
on Switch?
It's on Switch.
Yeah,
it's on
right.
Switch,
Cute.
and I like it. Because the one thing I don't like about it is that you have to do things like a very sim-like, where you probably have to move things around and build things in houses, and I don't like doing that part. I like helping the little Disney characters, but it's very calming. It's very simple. There's no combat.
Would we say it's always calming?
Well, okay. Well, no, there has definitely been some
Simple
times.
quest where it's like go and fetch an aubergine for Scar.
Yeah,
and
true.
she's like screaming at the Switch. She's like, I just sold an aubergine.
Sorry, that is
What is Scar need an aubergine?
I don't know. I know there was.
he did actually. He didn't want the aubergine. He needed. Honestly, the characters, some of them, Kristoff's a piece of shit. So like
Kristoff from Frozen.
Frozen.
Oh, yeah.
He's
yeah.
annoying as hell. Scar's also bad. So Scar will eat people or won't threaten to, unless I like make him sushi. And you've got to catch certain fish and
Oh, it's quite heavy duty. Sounds,
Yeah.
High stakes stuff. Yeah. The pressure's on.
It is, but it's a very like big game. I don't think I'm anywhere near finishing.
Yeah, right.
But that's good, though. Sometimes you want, like, Ali, you've experienced this. You don't want games to end sometimes, right?
Yeah, that's why I've never finished Stardew Valley because I don't really know how to finish it, but I just don't
No,
want it
the,
to end.
the
and then...
Spirit one.
Oh yeah, and Spiritfarer. Yeah, I haven't finished that still because I didn't want it to end. Maybe I should go finish that now. It's been months.
Here we go. Yeah.
Oh god, it's been
Yeah.
months.
What I do like about it is I've recently my Google history is just how do I find this flare in Dreamlight Valley, and I really like the community of gamers that I'm like, well, thank you for telling me. You went and did the hard work, and
Yeah.
I've now I really find almost I don't write back to them, but in my head there's community like that person did the hard work, and then they went and uploaded the words for me
Bless.
to make
Totally.
it easy, and I really like that about the
Yeah.
gaming community. It
Yeah.
seems very helpful.
Is there like a wiki page for that game?
Yeah. Oh God, Reddit, Wiki. There's so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
And even when we did Split Fiction, me and Guy got stuck on the level, and we ended up having to get somebody else walk through. And I thought that was nice that somebody did that.
Totally. Did you always so you gamed as a kid or watched your brother?
Yeah.
And then you game now with Guy?
Yes.
Was there ever a gap where you didn't game?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've only ever done it because I live with my brother, and when I moved out of home, I didn't do anything. And then I married a gamer, and
here we are.
and then you know, Chris and I, when Chris and Guy lived together, we would I brought round to be cool to like try and get points. I brought round Rock Band.
Oh my god,
God.
Rock
That's
Band.
right.
But it was. We had
Yeah,
rock
we
bands. So we had
had
like
so
the
much
guitar,
fun
the
playing
mic,
that.
and the drum kit. And
Yeah.
the only reason we stopped was because the drum kit broke.
Oh.
Yeah.
But man, that was fun.
That was so much fun. And everyone, like, I think, Guy, you ended up being the best singer somehow out of everyone.
Because I'm talented.
and we would play that all the time. And I only did that to try and impress my gamer boyfriend and his gamer friends.
But that's how you do it, though.
yeah,
right?
well done.
At least you
It
made an
worked.
effort.
And
It
11
works.
years later.
11 years later, she's carried my second child. You know?
Well, that's the thing. And actively, that whole time, my wife was also there doing the opposite. Trying to stop it.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite game of all time?
Actually, well, nostalgia-wise, it'll be Secret of Monkey Island.
Yeah.
Fun-wise, Crash Bandicoot Team Racing is always I think it's always just fun to play. Final Fantasy, I would love to, if you could actually play it, Guy, but you're not good enough.
It's just not. I'm not wired.
It's not
I'm
your
just
thing.
not wired to do it.
Probably. God, I don't know. I've loved them all. I know that's such a lame answer.
There was a really.
We really like. Split Fiction is probably
Split
my favorite.
Fiction is, and then Animal Crossing during lockdown. That
Animal
was
Crossing.
like
That was my therapy.
We were no kids, and we would just every morning we'd sit in bed with our coffees, and we would
That was
just
such a time for us.
we would just tottle around on our islands because we had a Switch each.
and we could visit each other's. It was just
such
great.
a good time.
Yes.
Oh, fun. Well, thank you for joining us today,
Thanks for having
Meg.
me.
It was
Only a
lovely
short
to see you.
chitty chat.
Yeah, it was a short one. But let us know in our group, ECG for ECG, if you've got more questions for Meg. Like maybe you want to ask Meg some actual questions about like what guys really like, or I don't know, what else Meg plays, or anything else that we might have missed in this
DM
ep.
me for those secret ones and I'll tell you the truth.
Yeah,
And then-
nice.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to make me uncomfortable before we finish the podcast, Meg?
Yeah. Okay, so my favorite gaming is Pornhub, and going on there and playing little roulette games that pop up whenever you open up a new video.
Nice.
That's my favorite type of
Well,
game.
full disclosure for the audience, Meg came in and said something very sexual and out there
I loved
about
it.
her and Guy
Yeah.
to make me feel uncomfortable. It
Yeah.
worked.
And his hands have been in his pockets ever since. He's like fidgeting.
Hey, well, thanks for listening and thanks for coming in, Meg. I know you
Thanks,
came
guys.
specially in just for this DLC today. You did, eh? Yeah, thank you so much for that. Enjoy the rest of your day, team, and we'll catch you on Thursday for a full ep. Bye.
Bye.